All right, here we go. Creating conversation topics. This is one of your 3 pillars of the program. Along with listening and lessons, conversations is your 3rd pillar. It's something you'll do every week, if not every day. So pay attention. This is very important to you succeeding in learning Spanish. All right, let's talk about what it is, why we do it, and how we do it. Okay? What it is. Okay? The goal is to learn to write your own conversations, to study, memorize, practice, use. This is a pillar. Do it once a week minimum. Yes. It is exactly like one of these. Okay? A little conversation. My brother's name is John. He's 34. We used to go fishing. You can write it as a monologue or a dialogue, like me with my friend. Do you have any siblings? Yes, I have a brother. Is he older or younger? He's 3 years younger. Okay? So you can write monologue or dialogue, totally up to you. It's just a matter of what feels better and helps you think more clearly about what you want to say. Okay, so let's say we do a little dialogue here. Okay? You paste it in the chat and it translates for you. Okay, so you're going to write a conversation in DeepL. Okay, not in the chat, in DeepL. All right, and in DeepL, give it a title. Who are you talking with and what about? Even if it's a monologue, you're not monologuing alone. You're saying it to somebody. So give it is it your friend, your neighbor, the taxi driver? Who is it? Okay, your plumber. Who are you talking with and what about? Okay, think about it. And then write it out in English. My brother's name's John. He's 34. We used to go fishing. He lives in San Diego. Do you have any brothers? So this gets us into dialogue, but essentially it's all part of the monologue. If I want to continue and make it into a dialogue, I can certainly do that. Okay, but this is a monologue, right? So what's happening here is we're writing these conversations on topics that we care about, on things that we want to say. And that helps keep you motivated. So that gets to the why. Why are we doing this? Because it keeps you motivated. It gives you practical things, instant gratification, things we want to say. Meanwhile, we're working on our lessons over here. Okay? So in the beginning, you'll memorize this stuff and say it, but you're not going to understand what they're saying back to you because you don't know anything, right? The more you get through the lessons, the more you'll understand what they're saying back to you. So lessons is more about understanding and improvising. These conversations are more about memorizing and speaking. Okay, so they're both valuable. Okay, you write it in English. Why? Because we don't want you to write with the words you already know. We want you to write with words you don't know. This will help increase your vocabulary. That's simple. So write it in English, translate to Spanish, and then memorize it. Okay? So write it in English, monologue or dialogue, translate it on DeepL, paste it in Facebook if you want us to check. So here's Tamatha is here. She wrote her little thing. My class last week. Mi clase next week, excuse me. My class the next week. Mi clase la próxima semana. Okay, so I would correct her. The teacher will correct her down here. Okay, there's little mistakes. All right, and then she wrote this little dialogue. Cool. All right. So we can correct you. Here's a few other tips, okay, that are very important. You study and memorize, okay? What does that mean, memorize? It means if you're not going to remember all this verbatim, but if someone shows you the English, you should be able to translate it into Spanish. At least have it that much memorized, okay? If you don't, it's useless to you. If you're not working at this to memorize it, those words are gone. They're not going to stick in your brain. You've got to memorize. Okay? At least to the point where you can read it in English and translate it. Bring it to class and copy and paste it in chat for the teacher to use. So you come to the Zoom chat, paste it in there. Should paste the Spanish. And then from there, the teacher will play with it. Okay, you'll converse about it. You'll role play with it. Do different things. Okay, and then go use your conversation in the real world. Most important is you're actually using it. Okay, so it looks like this. Who are you talking to? What about? Sentences. Basic. I've already given you some of these tips. Write things you want to use this week. Don't write random stuff. Write stuff you actually want to use if you can. That'll make it more relevant, more tangible. Don't write more than you can remember, otherwise it's not benefiting you. Okay? The whole idea is we're remembering it to add more words to our vocabulary. Don't write a novel and then you don't remember it all. It's better to remember one sentence than be able to read 10 but you don't remember them. Okay? You can always write about your day. That topic never gets old. Okay? How's your day? How you feeling? Write your conversations in a notebook. Helps you remember them. Handwriting. Feel free to add extra vocabulary at the end if you know you'll need, if they didn't fit into the conversation. So, for example, okay, if I'm going to the doctor's office and I say, hey, my arm hurts, I may want to say a bunch of other words like, if I'm doing this and I'm doing at the doctor, okay, about my arm, my arm hurts, blah, 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 and we go back and forth with the doctor, okay, there may be like a bunch of vocabulary that didn't fit in there, but like different body parts. My arm, head, knees, all right, stomach. You may want to throw a few vocabulary in that didn't make the cut, but it's still stuff you'll probably need. If you can't think of topics, you can get ideas from our list of conversation topics below or from additional conversation vocab lessons. Here's the link to that. Additional vocab lessons.